Risotto makes a delicious accompaniment to every meal, but most people, while they love risotto, aren't exactly thrilled about having to stand at the stove and do all that stirring. Now I'm going to show you today how you can actually cook the risotto in either your steam oven or in your convection oven. And if you do use the convection oven, you can also cook some other items at the same time for one of those fabulous, fast, complete meals. Now, for the oven risotto, I always start by sauteing the onions. Once the onions have cooked down a little bit, it's time to add the rice. So I stir in the rice, and just as with a traditional risotto, the next step is to give it a little drink of wine. After all, something has to burn off all that butter fat. So you let the base of the risotto cook for a few minutes over moderate heat, just to let the rice absorb the wine. And once you see that the liquid has been absorbed, we're just going to scrape it into a casserole dish. And remember, it needs some space to expand, so don't use a very small dish, use a decent sized dish. This is just 1 cup of rice, and I'm adding 2 cups of a very strong, flavorful chicken stock that we made with a roasted chicken carcass. Now when we put this into the steam oven, we actually won't cover it. However, if you cook the mixture in the convection oven, you will need to have either a tight-fitting lid or some foil. Once the risotto comes out of the oven, we're going to finish it with some chopped fresh basil and lemon zest, a little lemon juice, and of course, a little bit of cheese. Now, to go with our oven risotto, I'm going to cook some zucchinis and tomatoes. We're actually going to cook these on fairly high heat so that the tomatoes really get really nicely roasted. And once this dish comes out of the oven, we have more fresh herbs. This is a mixture of oregano and parsley with lots of garlic, and we're going to toss that into the vegetables, and they'll just have a beautiful fresh flavor, and the garlic won't get burned. Now, couldn't be more simple. To go along with this dish, we have some chicken thighs. I'm not normally a fan of cooking on super high temperatures in convection, because when we cook in convection, the strong driving heat of the fan is more powerful than radiant heat. But if you want to get your skin crispy, you need that high heat. Now, if you wanted to have an alternate meat or fish, remember, that's the benefit of convection. You can cook multiple dishes at one time with no transference of flavor. To cook risotto in the steam oven, choose the steam-only mode and set the timer for 30 minutes. It usually takes between 30 to 35 minutes to cook the risotto, but you don't want to risk overcooking it. Now remember, you have lots of options with a steam oven. Timing is everything when it comes to cooking. So if your risotto is ready, but the rest of your meal isn't, you can use the keep warm feature to hold the food warm without it drying out. Alternately, you can refresh it in the reheating mode. Either way, it will taste freshly cooked. Now remember, the preheat time on a Thermador wall oven is approximately 12 minutes, but you always have the option of using the fast preheat feature when you're in a hurry. I've chosen the Convection Roast Mode to cook this meal because it's the mode that gives me the most power. Before I heated the oven, I set the racks into the positions where they would be most suitable. I'm going to put the chicken on rack position 2, where it's going to be nice and close to the powerful bottom heat. And I'm going to put the vegetables on rack position 5, where they're going to get heat from the broiler, but it's not quite as strong. This heat will caramelize the vegetables perfectly, but without burning them. I have the temperature set at 400 degrees because remember, I'm going for crispy skin on the chicken and I'm going to go for caramelization on the vegetables. So now I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. The chicken won't be done in 20 minutes, but after about 20 minutes, the vegetables should be perfect. So I'll want to take those out first and then leave the chicken for a few minutes longer. So again, this meal and the risotto will all be ready at the same time.